Good day, YouTube. This is Jay Money with Falling Forward Financial. I've done some oil videos in the past. Here's another one. I'm sure nobody really wants to talk about gas and oil prices, but might talk about the stocks and make some money off of that. A way to get some of your money back. But now is now the time to buy oil stocks? That's always the question. I sold some of mine probably a month or so ago, and they keep going up, so I should have held it, but made a little bit of money, so that's all that matters. There's no question the $4 trillion energy sector has been home to the best performing stocks in the market recently. Over the past year, energy stocks have gained 72% on average, while the next close sector, utilities, rose less than 15%. In comparison, the broad market S&P 500 index lost 1%, and that stated long before Russia invaded Ukraine. Hasn't been much different in 2022 either, with the oil and gas stocks in particular leading the way. Energy is again on top of a 58% gain, and utilities again ranked second with a less than 5% increase in value. Yet over the longer period, the high cost of exploration and resource exploitation has made the energy sector a lagging sector for investors. Technology stocks were the market's darlings only until recently, and over the past decade, energy stocks ranked dead last with simple double-digit increases, when virtually every other sector was sporting triple-digit gains. Oil and gas stocks are the stars these days, and now is the time to buy them. Beating up on big oil, it's hard to even say this person's name, we'll just skip it, recently said that he hoped Americans could come out of a current energy crisis less dependent on fossil fuels. Alternative energy resources are already a rising component of the world's energy consumption, about 30% of the total, and that number is continuously growing. Where the energy sector accounted for 29% of the stocks weighted in the S&P 500 in 1980, today represent 3.7%. So that's quite a difference. Back then, 7 of the top 10 stocks in the popular index were oil and gas stocks, led by ExxonMobil, XOM. Today there are none, so quite a difference. And another reason why I sold mine. And in a sign of how the world is further changing, Exxon was booted out of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, a spot it held for nearly 100 years. That's got to be depressing. Leaving only Chevron to represent the industry. Chevron's the one that I had and sold. Sold it in the 140s. I think it's went up to about 160 about 2 weeks later. So yeah, I sold it a little bit too early, but made a little bit of money and just wanted to get out of it. So oil is everywhere. Yet that doesn't mean you shouldn't invest in the energy sector. It is simply too ingrained in the global economy to disappear. For example, U.S. Energy Information Association forecasts global conventional light-duty vehicles will nearly double from 1.31 billion in 2020 to 2.21 billion at their peak in 2038, but that will still far outstrip electric vehicle usage. General Motors, I've talked about, has said it wants to produce only electric vehicles, EVs, by 2035. Ford, I've talked about, ticker F, is shooting for 40% of its fleet. Tesla, in contrast, says it wants to sell 20 million EVs by 2027. However, the EIA predicts EV usage will grow from just 0.7% of the global fleet to 31% in 2050, or just 672 million vehicles. Not an insignificant number, but still has trailing gas-powered vehicles. So, all the EVs are a long-term hold for me. I've talked about several of them. All three that we just talked about, General Motors, Ford, and Tesla, I've talked about quite a few times. So I think they're all good to hold, all definitely long-term plays. So, Grand View Research estimates the global petrochemicals market size was valued at $556.1 billion in 2021, will grow at a 6.2% compound annual rate through 2030, driven primarily by construction, pharmaceuticals, and automotive needs, as well as our industrial economy. And through petroleum itself, not an important of a component for plastics manufacturing, natural gas, and natural gas processing is. Still a gusher of an opportunity. Some people still like these. I kind of wish I would have stayed in now if I'd have known gas prices were kind of kept going up. But like I said, I made some money on it, so that's all that matters. Chances that alternative energy replaces fossil fuels for the foreseeable future are incredibly low. That's why I think the energy sector generally and oil stocks in particular are great buys even today at their elevated levels. Fossil fuels will be around for a long time, meaning investors are to look very closely at some of the best energy stocks in the space as long-term growth investment. So you can leave in the comments which one you like best, and you can leave which one of the three you like best on the EV sector. And you can leave your favorite, whether it's Chevron, Exxon, or I think there's another one, Phillips is also out there. And you can leave your opinion, is now the time to buy oil stocks or not, or if we should dump them and look to EVs. That's what I've gradually done. But that's it for this one. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. Again, this is J Money, Falling Forward Financial. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.